With E3 2018 well underway, we go back and take a look at the highlights of all the major conferences. In this video we're going to take a look at the highlights of the EA conference. EA had a lot to prove this year as a result of some very controversial releases recently. With lackluster receptions and predatory gaming practices, EA had to do something to change public opinion. Whilst the conference itself played it very safe, and a few of the developers did admit to mistakes, I'm not sure that this conference changed many people's opinion of the company. But anyway, let's move on to talk about the highlights. Now of course, if you're a sports fan of FIFA, NBA or Madden, then no doubt you were pleased to see the 2019 titles for all of these games announced, but these occur every year and they're kind of expected now. For me though, there were really 5 games that caught my eye from the EA conference. First was Command & Conquer Rivals, and whilst I'm not a big mobile gaming fan, the Command & Conquer series I've always had a little soft spot for. So it's in some ways good to see the franchise returning, however, whether it will get much action as a mobile title, we'll have to wait and see. The next highlight was Battlefield 5. Although I will say I am very cautious regarding this title. They did show off movable defences, destructive environments, they talked a bit more about the war stories, which I am keen to hear about, especially in regards to the Norwegian Northern Lights war story. They also announced that there'd be no loot box or premium passes, although this was already known. The new news was they were hinting at a Royale or Battle Royale mode, but we'll have to wait for more news on that. I do believe that if Battlefield 5 was first shown off like it was during the EA conference rather than the actual trailer they showed a few weeks ago, it may have been better received. The next highlight was Unravel 2, the sequel to Unravel. This kept the same art style of the first game, where you're playing a little character made of yarn, but it has a strong emphasis on co-op. I'm always a fan of co-op games, especially couch co-op games, and this looks like this is going to scratch that itch. Playing by yourself or with a friend, you control the 2 yarn characters as you swing around the beautiful environment solving basic puzzles. The other good news regarding this is that it's actually released today, which probably got the strongest reaction from the crowd during the E3 conference. The next highlight was Sea of Solitude, an EA original game that looks quite unique in a sea of generic games we get nowadays. With a strong emphasis on emotions and loneliness, it was an interesting concept, and on top of that the art style made it stand out during the EA conference. With a release date of early 2019, this is one I'm going to be keeping my eye on. And then finally, the last highlight was Anthem. Although this is a highlight for me, again it's a game I'm cautiously optimistic about. The public's opinion of BioWare has fallen a lot thanks to Mass Effect Andromeda, and with the comparisons to Destiny, there are a few cause for concern. Nonetheless, during the conference they showed off an in-game trailer, as well as a short gameplay demonstration. They also had interviews with Casey Hudson and other members of the BioWare staff, explaining certain aspects like the story concept, as in players are playing as a freelance character piloting various Javelin exosuits. They explained the different types of exosuits, which are pretty much classes. They showed off customization options, as well as talked about any additional monetization the game will have. And whilst the game will have no loot boxes, they did say there will be cosmetic vanity items that can be bought. I will say that the game does look gorgeous, although for me personally there was a little bit of a concern in regards to the voice acting, but this may be purely subjective. And finally they gave us a release date of the 22nd of February 2019. Now these were the highlights of the EA conference, but that isn't saying that the conference was amazing. It felt a bit tame to me personally, and there was nothing out of the blue, nothing that shocked or surprised the audience. Which is a shame in a way, but given the recent public opinion towards EA, I can understand this lukewarm approach. But anyway, what were your highlights and thoughts on the EA conference? Leave a comment down below, and until next time, I've been Darcblade, bringing you the highlights of the EA 2018 E3 press conference. Hope you enjoyed the video, thanks for watching, subscribe and like for more.